birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from the entanglement with the children, wife, home, and the rest. Even mindedness, aimed, pleasant and unpleasant event, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of the self-realization and philosophical search for absolute truth. All these are declared to be knowledge, and beside this, whatever they may be, is ignorance. Absolutely.
So yeah, it mentioned there the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease. So we have to see these things are not good. Birth is not good. Old age, disease, death is not good. No, these are unwanted things. So that when we realize the nature of the material world is based on these four things, then that can help us to detach. We want to let go. Because the problem is we have the false idea that we can enjoy this material world. We're living in a bubble, an illusory bubble, that we can live happily ever after in the material world. They show that in the movies, right? The boy and the girl walk off in the sunset and said they lived happily ever after. So that's the bubble we're in. But there's none of that. The reality is these four things. There's birth, there's old age, disease, death, and they're all miserable conditions.
Yeah, Prabhupada says it's a mirage.
Yeah.
It's look like, when you are walking down driving on the road, it's look like a water, and there is no water.
No water, yeah.
Mirage. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that is compared to happiness in the material world, just like thinking there's water in the desert. So thinking there's happiness in the material world. There is happiness, but we have to look somewhere else in the spiritual world. That's where the real happiness is. Satchit Ananda. Ananda means bliss.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's the real enjoyment is in the spiritual world. So we're not saying that there's no happiness, but just we're looking in the wrong place. When we take to spiritual life, that's when the real happiness begins. So even in the material world, if we become fully Krishna conscious, you become full of happiness from that time. You don't have to wait till the body dies and you go back to the spiritual world. As soon as we change the consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness, then you become full of happiness. Because we're not identifying with the material body anymore. Which is what? Material body means birth, old age, disease, and death. So when we change the identification from the material body to the soul and our relationship with the Supreme Soul, then immediately we become free from all these distressful situations. But yeah, ultimately, we want to go back home, back to Godhead. Because there in the Vaikuntha, there's no birth, no old age, no disease, no death. Things are not there.
Based on the karma, if look like my mom, there'll be no rebirth because the amount of trouble she's facing, all the karmas for 5,000, 10,000 years is gonna get balance sheet 0, 0. That's why she's facing so much trouble, and eventually she will go, and it has to be balance sheet, has to be 0, 0 anyway. So Krishna now says, okay, this is the last one. All that whatever their back one, come back here, and then eventually she should be going to Krishna Loka, hopefully. But
you're doing, like I said, you're doing the best service for her.
Yeah,
by you being Krishna conscious, for sure. Very fortunate.
She's more Krishna conscious than me. I'm Krishna conscious for 7-8 years. She's like, when I was little, I remember that, she'd run to Vrindavan like twice a year. She was a slim ass. Like running there. When she was 16, 17, she says to my grandpa, I don't want to get married. Oh, just leave me at the Vrindavan. I don't want to get married. She's crying. Wow. I don't want to get married. Leave me Vrindavan. But that was talking about 80 years ago, 75. Nobody listened to the girl. whatever she's saying, but forcefully you get married and the kids and
yeah.
all that. She just eventually doesn't want to get married. Oh, leave me with Darwin. Doesn't want to get married. Leave me with Darwin. So she's devotee since that.
Yeah.
And then
No, so there's no need to be concerned about someone like that.
no.
I mean, as Shastra says, even you chant the holy name of Krishna once, you become so fortunate. What to speak of all bad things.
My nan, they came from Pakistan. And when they come from border, and then they don't allow to take any possession. You have to come in empty hands. So my mom's mom, she was carrying only Bhagavatam on the head, on the red, wrapped in the red cloth. She come to the border. He says, "Old lady, what you got?" He said, "That's my holy book." They look at it. He said, "Okay, off you go." That's what she bring in only.
Wow.
Bhagavatam. And when I used to go to my mom's mom, Nan, and then she was telling about, some Gita shloka and Bhagavatam shloka. And mom says, "What's Nan says?" Oh, she's telling this says, and she's telling the shloka. I don't understand this. And mom says that my Nan never been to school. She was uneducated. How she read and talk about the Sanskrit and shlokas, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And she never been to school.
Wow.
See how this thing
the power of bhakti,
I don't know. She maybe listened somewhere, or
well, it's like your favorite verse, 10:10. To those who dedicate their life, I give them the intelligence, the understanding.
That's right. She was just carrying the Bhagavatam on the head and coming to the border, crossing Pakistan to India. That's the position she got. And eventually she passed away, and my mom followed in the footsteps of my nan. Same thing. But but it's like, so it's in me, it's coming from mom. Not me going to the mom.
Well, it's said that in the Shastra that the qualities of the mother go to the son, and the qualities of the father go to the daughter. So often you'll see similarities between the father and daughter and mother and son.
Right. That's right.
And I've noticed that also. That's
Ganges comes back from Mount Everest, doesn't go back to Mount Everest. So my mom's Mount Everest, I'm the Ganges. It's coming from my mom to me.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
So, okay, what are we?
We're chapter 10, text 8, but we'll just offer respect to Prabhupada.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Om Jnanatamrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master has kindly opened my eyes with a shining torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Is it 10:10? We are 8?
10:8.
10,
so 8? We're continuing our reading of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 10, entitled The Opulence of the Absolute, text number 8. So this is the first of the seed verses.
Okay.
The essential 4 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, starting from this one, 8, then 9, 10, and 11. These are the 4 seed verses. Aham sarvasya prabhavo.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo.
Mata sarvam pravartate.
Mata sarvam pravartate.
Iti matva bhajante mam.
Iti matva bhajante mam.
Buddha bhava samanvitaha.
Buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. This wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
So this is Krishna declaring who he is, that he's God. This is what it means to be God. Who is God? God is the source of everything. That's God. God is this from which everything comes. Everything emanates from me. That's God. That person who is the source of everything comes from them, that is God. So here Krishna is declaring that he is the supreme person. And persons, wise people that have this knowledge that Krishna is God, what is going to be the result of knowing that Krishna is God? Naturally, they're going to worship Krishna with all their hearts. They're going to engage in devotional service and worship Krishna with all their hearts. Once they know that he's God, that he's the source of everything, that's the natural result of this knowledge. And that's why it's so important to give this knowledge of who Krishna is and understanding his greatness, his opulences, his powers. Because then automatically what follows on from that knowledge is that people will become devotees. You know, why did we become devotees? Because we heard about Krishna. And once we heard about Krishna, his glories, then naturally we become attracted to being his devotees.
So if, for example, that if I died and there's a Muslim people died or Christian will died, like they won't be asking any religion up there. They will based on your karma, because the Muslim people does not he pray Allah or something, or Christian maybe Jesus. But when we
Yeah.
go up there, based on your karma, you've been they don't ask religion up there, do they? Because you're Hindu or Muslim or Christian, based on your
Well,
karma, they'll dictate.
karma is determining where you go in the material world, right? If you do
Yeah,
good karma,
yeah.
then you go up. If
Krishna
you do
Lokas.
bad karma, you
Yeah.
go down like that.
So,
If you
up,
do
so up
mixture,
there
you might come
is,
back to the earth.
so
But
up there is
to
nothing to do
go
with the
to go to
religion.
Vaikuntha,
Yeah.
to go to the spiritual world, it's not just karma you want, it's your bhakti. It's bhakti. But there is an element of bhakti in all the religions, because bhakti means to love God. And if you love God, you're going to serve. Love means service. So you do some service to God. There's 9 processes of bhakti, as you know. One of them is, for example, is vandanam, means offering prayers. Every religion offers prayers. Whether you're Christian or Muslim or Hindu, you offer prayers. So that's some element of bhakti is there. One of them is archana, means worship. So worshipping is in many religions, like that. Kirtanam, glorifying. So, Muslims glorify God, Christians glorify God, sing his glories and everything. So there's some element of bhakti. However, what I would say is within pretty much all the religions, there's no detailed knowledge about who God is.
Some religions say God is energy, and
Yeah,
some they
so
say,
it's not complete. It's only
yeah.
partial. It's only partial knowledge. Only partial knowledge. See, look what it says in this verse, the wise who know this perfectly.
Yeah.
So we need that full knowledge, perfect knowledge, in order to, like it's saying, worship me with all their hearts. Because you see, like, for example, Christians and that, they might worship God once a week on Sunday for a couple hours. That's not worship with all the hearts, with all their heart. That's just a bit of ritualistic, religious activity. And then on top of that, when they go to the church or the temple or mosque, what are they praying? Are they praying for service, which is what we're told here we should naturally do, as to want to do service? No, they're asking God for something. They want to take service from God. They don't want to give service to God, which is what we should be doing, but they want to take service from God. So every religion, when you go to the, religious place, you'll be asking God for something. Can you get me a partner? Can you help me pass my exams? Can you improve my health? Can you, Christians say, God, give us our daily bread and all this kind of stuff. So they're praying for economic things, for money or whatever, business. Even one friend told me his father, he would go to Balaji in Tirupati, and because he heard from another business friend of his that if you go to Balaji and give a donation, you'll get 10 times back in your business. So it's just economic. That's not real bhakti. I'm sure he's gone to God, very good. But why? Has he gone there to get something or to give something like that? So that's not pure bhakti. So what I'm saying is, most of these religions, at best, it's mixed bhakti. It's called karma mishra bhakti. You know, bhakti mixed with material desires. Or jnana mishra bhakti. Bhakti, devotion, mixed with mental speculation. Mixed with, so often it'll be mixed with fulfilling one's material fruitive desires or mental speculation, so forth. Or yoga mishra bhakti means mixed with wanting some mystic powers, like the yogis want some mystic perfections like that.
It's like
some
a business
siddhi,
transaction.
wanting, yeah. So it's not pure bhakti, whereas pure bhakti is called shuddha bhakti, pure bhakti, shuddha bhakti, or prema bhakti, with love, you know, just with love. And it's supposed to be natural, like what you mentioned, just like the river goes to the ocean. Bhakti is supposed to flow naturally like that, just like the river goes to the ocean like that. So once we awaken our relationship with God by hearing from God, getting about God, getting some knowledge, then it's natural. Then the bhakti just naturally goes. Like as soon as I heard about Krishna, and my Krishna consciousness was reawakened, then immediately I surrendered and engaged in devotional service. So then it becomes very natural like that. So bhakti is there within everyone, but the problem is that the soul, the heart, is covered by Maya. Like you said, the mirage, you know, so we're covered by so much illusion. And that's why it's not naturally coming out. And like there's only two of us here talking about Krishna. Why there's not hundreds and thousands and millions? No, because the bhakti is covered up by all these other things. Maya is so powerful.
And their association, they don't have an association of the devotee. That could be the reason. They just eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But if they have a devotion, like, you know, it's like a devotee association, that's gonna make a big difference. I mean, it's not you and me saying about anything Krishna, and that Krishna is sitting on your tongue, telling as a devotee to another devotee about that. So if Krishna is sitting on my tongue, if I tell someone else, those who are not devotee, and effect will go, because Krishna is talking it from my mouth to the other people. Yes. Who am I to, you know, read Gita? Nothing. I'm nothing unless Krishna will allow. You know, that he is the final authority. If he allows, and you can see in the other people, they're not devotee. It means Krishna is talking from your mouth to the others, and then they listen. And the devotional, like, you know, association make a big difference. If they're associating with the devotee slowly, they're reading and understanding.
And that's why the devotee is so dear to Krishna, because he's the one that's giving this knowledge. Like in this verse, that Krishna is the source of the spiritual material worlds, everything emanates from me. So the devotees are giving this knowledge to people, saying that Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. And because the devotees are giving this knowledge, they're very dear to Krishna. Very dear to Krishna. Okay, you can start reading the purport.
Okay. A learned scholar who had studied the Vedas perfectly and has information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya, and who knows how to apply this teaching, can understand that Krishna is the origin of everything in both the material and spiritual world. And because he knows this perfectly, he becomes firmly fixed in the devotional service of his Supreme Lord. He can never be deviated by any amount of nonsensical commentaries.
Nonsensical, like nonsense? Like you have the word nonsense, so nonsensical.
Nonsensical commentaries, or by fools. All Vedic literature agrees that Krishna is the source of Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods. In the Atharvas Vedas, Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.248 say that Yo Brahma Namam Vidyadati Purvam Yo Vedam Cha Gapayati Sama Krishna. It was Krishna who is in the beginning of instructed Brahma in the Vedic knowledge and who disseminated by Vedic knowledge in the past. Then again, Narayana Upanishad says that Atha Purusoha Veda Narayana Kamyatha Praja Sarijayati. Then the Supreme Personality Narayana desired to create living entity. The Upanishad continue. Narayana Brahma Jyote Narayana Prajapate Prajayate Narayana Indro Jete Narayana Astu Vasu Jayante Narayana Ekadashe Rudra Jante Jayante Narayana Dave Ditya. From Narayana Brahma is born, and from Narayana the body.
Patriarch means like the forefathers.
Patriarch is also born from the Narayana. Indra is born from the Narayana. 8 races are born. The Narayana. Vasus are born from Narayana. The 11 Rudras are born from Narayana. 12 Advaitas are born. This Narayana is the expansion of Krishna. It is. Oh, should I just stop? Oh, continue.
Just keep going, but just leave out this big long Sanskrit bits.
Okay. It is said that the same Vedas and the son of Devaki, Krishna, is the Supreme Personality. Then it is said that in this beginning of creation, there was only the Supreme Personality Narayana. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no stars in the sky, no sun. Maha-Upanishad 1.12. In the Maha-Upanishad, it is also said that Lord Shiva was born from forehead of Supreme Lord. Thus the Veda says that it is Supreme Lord, the creator of Brahma and Shiva, who is to be worshipped. In the Moksha Dharma, Krishna also says, the patriarchs, Shiva and others are created by me, though they do not know that they are created by me, because they are diluted by my illusory energy. In the Vartha Purana is also said that Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him Brahma was born, from whom Shiva was born. Lord Krishna is the source of all generations. He is called the most efficient cause of everything. He says, because everything is born of me, I'm the original source of all. Everything is under me. No one is above me. There is no supreme controller other than Krishna. One who understands Krishna in such a way from bona fide spiritual master with the reference from Vedic literature engages all his energy in Krishna consciousness and becomes a truly learned man. In comparison to him, all others who do not know Krishna properly are but fools. Only a fool would consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. A Krishna conscious person should not be bewildered by fools. He should avoid all unauthorized commentaries and interpretation on Bhagavad Gita and proceed to Krishna consciousness with determination and firmness. I heard that a beep is somebody's message.
Oh, yes, correct. Steve has come. And also we've had some people come here right now as well. Jayanti's just returned from Auckland with her mother and father, Peter, Mata, have come.
Oh, okay. So your in-laws are here.
Yes, they're going to stay with us for a few weeks.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, so that's good.
Oh, why not?
So, just saying. Hare Krishna, Ma. You made it. Well done.
Amma.
Very good.
They call it Amma? Appa.
Yes.
Yes.
Amma and Appa. Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's right.
Very good.
Hare Krishna.
So, Deepa, here she is. Hare Krishna. How are you, Deepa? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Turn up the volume.
Maybe the speaker's off.
It's not showing that you're on mute, but we can't hear you. So maybe the volume is down or speaker's off or something.
Okay.
Can you hear us? Yeah, we still can't hear you. Something's not connected.
You know what, Prabhuji, this is like when you had an end of your life, you start choking and your hearing get lost as well in the time
Still
of the
can't
death.
hear you. Okay, there you are.
Hey, Prabhuji?
Try again, Deepa. No, not yet, not yet. We'll tell you when we can hear you. Just keep speaking and we'll tell you when it comes. What were you saying, Gulshan?
When the time of the death, you lost hearing and then you're choking
Yeah.
in the time of the death. So I think your and my time of the death, we can't hear it.
Yes. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Pa.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You made it.
Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah, that reminds me of a verse by the one king named Kulashekar.
Yeah.
And great devotee. He became a great devotee.
Yeah.
And one verse he said, Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam Madhyaiva Me Vasatu Manasaraja Hamsa Prana Prayana Samye Kavavada Peta Kanta Varodana Vido Smaranam Kutaste. So what that means is that the king is praying that may Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam. May my mind, who is like a swan, enter into may my mind, who is like a swan, enter into your feet, which are like a lotus, because that's the swan goes on the river, on the pond, and feeds out of the lotuses. So he's comparing his mind to like a swan, and may it enter into the lotus of Krishna's feet. So he's saying, may my mind enter now.
Yeah.
She's trying to come back.
Yeah, she is actually.
So while I'm fit and healthy, he's saying, while I'm fit and healthy now, may my mind, which is like a swan, enter into your lotus feet. Because so he's saying, yeah, may I die now. May I die now while I'm fit and healthy. Because he's saying that, because if I wait till the time of death, that the voice will choke up with mucus.
Yeah.
The kapha, vata, pitta. These are the doshas. So the doshas get out of balance at that time. And the throat can get blocked up with the mucus, and then you can't chant.
Yeah.
You can't chant. So he's saying, and also very difficult because everything's out of whack.
Yeah.
So things aren't working properly. So hard also to remember Krishna.
Yeah.
So he's saying, may I die now while I'm healthy and I'm remembering your lotus feet.
Yeah.
like that, because if I wait till the natural course like that, it may be difficult.
Very difficult, yeah.
Of course, for that's a very nice sentiment he's displaying, because that's a fact. At the time of death, it can be very difficult, like that. So many difficulties. But for a devotee, we don't even have to worry, because Krishna will take care. Now, while we are fit and healthy, we're trying to serve Krishna the best we can. At the time of death, we don't know whether it's going to be a car accident, or we're going to have a heart attack, or we're going to have warning or no warning, or whatever like that. So many circumstances beyond our control. We have absolutely no control. So a devotee, a pure devotee, leaves everything up to Krishna. However you take me, whenever you take me, like that, whatever condition, like that, we just leave it all in your hands. We have no fear about death, because we know that Krishna loves his devotees and that he will protect us. He will protect us. And this reminds me of one beautiful pastime with Ramanujacharya in South India. And he was worshipping in Sri Ranganath, Lord Ranganath in Sri Rangam in South India. And he was such a great devotee, he would personally talk with the deity.
Yeah.
And he said to the deity one day, "My Lord, if your devotee does not remember you at the time of death, what will happen to your devotee?" And there was silence for a few moments. And then the deity spoke to him, replied, that if my devotee does not remember me, then I will remember my devotee.
That's a jackpot.
Joy.
That's a jackpot, man.
You know, if you got
Krishna.
God remembering you, then you don't have anything to worry about.
That's it. That's it.
And that's what we place all of our hope on, that point, that Krishna loves his devotees so much.
There was a movie as well. He was a mathematician or something. It's a movie. Ramanujacharya went to UK, and he solved some mathematics equations.
Oh, you're talking about some modern Ramanujacharya.
Yeah.
This is like 900 years ago we're talking about. Yeah, before they had mathematic competitions in UK.
They made the one movie out of it, but he was talking to deities in the temple, and he made his theorems there right on the ground on there, and then talking to deity, and then he said that too. And then that in UK, he went there in London, and they says, prove it. He said, I can't prove it, but they say equations are right. There is a 5 mathematical equations that nobody solved till today, and he did solve, but this is how. He said, I don't know, but I did it. I know because I talked to deity. He said, we can't take this, you talk to deity and solve that. But he said, exactly, you solved it, but we know how, but he cannot prove it. They don't believe. Western world does not believe East. East is like a Western world is believe in the dissection. They cut it. The flower, they want to cut it. They can't, they want to see the fragrance. But the East says that enjoy it. You got a nose, enjoy the fragrance. But the West says, I want to see it. You can't see the fragrance. The Western is like a dissecting. Everything is cutting and want to see. But some things you can't see. Like a soul, you can't see, no matter how much dissect you can do. So if they don't see, they don't believe. That's a Western. Eastern is different. We are East.
There's 2 different paths, which the word for that is panta. Panta. One is called Aroha Panta. Aroha means ascending. So this is the path of ascending knowledge. It means from me, I'm trying to figure everything out. So from me, it's going upwards. I'm trying to work it out, like you said, through the senses, trying to see how the universe began, smell, ears, tongue, touch, by using our senses, our tiny brain, trying to figure everything out. So it's from me the knowledge is going upwards.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. And the other path is called Avaroha Panta, and that's where the word avatar comes. Avatar means descending. The incarnation means the person is from descending from the spiritual world to the material world. That's called avatar. Descending, coming from up to down. So we follow the avaroha pantha, which is the path of descending knowledge. So the knowledge is coming down to us from God, down to us. And that's what it was mentioning in this purport for deeper. We're talking on chapter 10, text 8. Savasya Prabhava. So it's mentioning in here. A learned scholar who has studied the Vedas perfectly, this is the purport, and has studied the Vedas perfectly and has information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya. So this is the secret to we're getting our information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya. So it's descending. So it's coming from a higher authority. The knowledge is coming down to us. So we're getting perfect knowledge coming down. If it's not perfect knowledge, that's no use, right? So you don't want something that's not perfect coming down, but we want something that is perfect coming down. And it is perfect because the persons it's coming from are perfect. So if the person is perfect, then the knowledge coming from them is perfect. You get the idea? You know, we're not perfect. As mentioned, I mentioned this the very first time we had our soul searching sessions, that every conditioned soul has 4 defects. We make mistakes. That's one. We're subject to illusion. Like Gulshan said before, we see the mirage. You know, you think there's water in the desert. It's not there. It's an illusion. And the number one illusion, what's that?
Cheating.
Yeah. So that's another one, cheating. We have a cheating propensity. You know, people talk like we know what we're talking about. Actually, we have no idea what we're talking about, but we're just making it up as we go along.
This propensity cheating is a lot more in Indians, I can say.
That's everywhere, Gulshan. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Indians have it
you
too.
You cannot beat Indians about that. They have got an Oscar for that.
Oh, excuse me, sir, I'm lost. Can you tell me how to get to the Loy Bazaar? Oh, just go left. And it wasn't left.
Exactly.
It just has no idea.
Exactly.
It was probably the way.
That happens everywhere. They'll
No.
tell you as if they know, but it's in the opposite direction.
You know why they say that? You know why? I think about it, then I come to the conclusion. When you ask someone in India, do you know where is such and such market? If he doesn't know, his ego hurts. I don't know. He even tell the wrong way because his ego hurts. How come I don't know? He even tell you the wrong way.
Gulshan, I'm sorry to break it to you. It happens in Malaysia. It happens in Tunisia.
We all have
it happens
egos.
everywhere, you know, everywhere.
Yeah. So that's one of the first things I learned when I joined the Hare Krishnas is do not speculate. So people would ask, I was Bhakti Aaron. Oh, Bhakti Aaron. Oh, where's this? Oh, I don't know. Oh, Bhakti Aaron, what's this? I don't know. I just keep saying, if I didn't know, I'd say I don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get frustrated with me because I keep saying I don't know. Why do you keep saying I don't know? Because I don't know, you know.
True.
But that's being honest. That's being honest. Otherwise, we're cheating, you know, if you say something you're not sure about. Sure. So we want to be absolutely sure.
And the fourth one?
So that's we make mistakes. We're under illusion. We have a cheating propensity, and we have imperfect senses. Have imperfect senses. Like you were saying, Gulshan, they want to see everything, cut it open, the flower, and see.
Yeah.
But what use are our eyes? Our eyes are hopeless. And people say, oh, well, but then we have the microscope and the telescope and all these things to improve our eyes. But still, the person that made the microscope is not perfect. So also the microscope is not perfect. The person that made the telescope is not perfect. So the telescope is not perfect. You know, so an imperfect person is creating an imperfect device. But still
Krishna,
not perfect.
But the Krishna creates us everyone perfect. We are the creation of Krishna, and the Krishna creates everyone perfect. I don't say Krishna create anyone imperfect. You're saying Krishna creates imperfect?
No, but I'm saying that the senses are imperfect in terms of getting perfect knowledge, in terms of getting perfect knowledge. We are created perfectly in the sense that
The souls are. The soul is perfect at, you know.
Everything
But
is
it's
perfect.
But even, I mean, it's said that the perfect in the sense of, like, there's in the beginning of the Upanishad, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate, in the sense of complete.
Everything is
So
complete.
everything's complete. So
Yeah.
perfect and complete. That
Krishna creates
everything we
everything
need
perfect.
is here. Like we
Yeah.
need air to breathe,
Yeah.
and air is there.
Yeah.
We get hungry, we need food, and food is there.
Food is there.
We get thirsty, water is there. We need sunlight, the sun is there. So everything that we require, there's 1 ton of food available every day for the elephant, and there's 1 grain of sugar every day available for millions and millions and millions of ants.
Yeah.
You know, so everything is here complete.
Yeah.
Like that. But we're not perfect in the sense that we can fly in the sky or anything like that, you know. So we do have limitations. Yeah.
Why would you? Krishna didn't create you to fly. Krishna created birds to fly. Birds are flying. Krishna creates to give it a Bhagavad Gita class, which you are giving.
Yeah. So we all have different perfections.
Yes.
So that, you know, they have a perfection to fly or whatever, and we have a perfection to realize
If
absolute
the
truth.
tiger wants to do farming, he can't do farming. He's not designed for. Krishna creates for hunting and kill and eat.
Yeah, he'll eat the farmer. He might eat the farmer. So, yeah.
And then he's not affected by karma, because that's his duty to kill and eat. He's the God. The Krishna wouldn't say, "Oh, you kill 320 animals." That's what his way anyway.
But understanding these 4 defects of every conditioned soul is very important for us to understand right from the beginning, that we can't get perfect knowledge by ourselves or from others who are also imperfect like us. If we want to get knowledge, we have to get it from someone that is perfect. And then you might say, well, how the hell do we find someone that's perfect? Well, God is perfect, right? Or if you hear it from someone that has heard from God, and that is the parampara system. That is the parampara system. So, and we have that, like in the end of the introduction, right? You start, Krishna speaks, this is one parampara mentioned in the beginning of the end of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, of Krishna speaking to Brahma, Brahma speaking to Narada, Narada speaking to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva like that to Shukadeva Goswami, and then like that it goes down, 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 like that. Well, in that case, it was Vyasadeva speaking to, I think it was Madhvacharya, like that. So, and it's coming down in this from guru to disciple, like that. So this is where we want to get our knowledge from a higher authority, a perfect authority coming down. There's many so-called authorities, but like Prabhupada mentions a lot in this purport about fools. He said, don't listen to the fools. It's saying here, one who understands Krishna in such a way from a bona fide spiritual master and from Veda literature. This is like 6 lines down from the bottom of the purport. Who engages all his energy in Krishna consciousness becomes a truly learned man. In comparison to him, all others who do not know Krishna properly are but fools. Only a fool would consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. A Krishna conscious person should not be bewildered by fools. So what are we learning here? That we need to, if we want to understand Krishna, we've got to understand Krishna from a bona fide spiritual master.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we become a truly learned person. If you hear from a bona fide spiritual master, whoever hears from the spiritual master becomes a truly learned person. And it's saying here, all others who do not know Krishna properly are fools. All
But
others are but fools.
one question come in my mind.
Yeah.
My mom's a devotee when she was like, I can't remember 15, 16 of her age. But
Yeah.
she runs to the Bhakti Bihari temple. On that time, the ISKCON temple wasn't built. ISKCON even doesn't exist.
Sure.
So she don't know who's the bona fide spiritual master, but she just Bhakti Bihari temple attracted to that, and she goes and read and pray and everything there. She got no idea. If I ask him who's the bona fide spiritual master, she got no idea.
Yeah.
But her devotion is like solid as a rock. I can't see anything like, like means as solid as her beliefs and things. Where she learned that, like, she has got a deities and changing there all the, getting dressed and offering the milk and all this thing, fighting with the deity, just bath, everything. Where she got that? She got no guru, nothing.
Yeah, but
Where
in
she
a
got all
previous
that?
life, she probably had
Okay.
a guru that enlightened her about Krishna, and so she's born into a family of.
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
nan.
you mentioned your grandmother was carrying the Bhagavatam on her head, into India. So I mean, like that. So
Okay.
that's also a guru.
All right.
Even her mother was a guru, in one sense.
Yeah,
If
that's
she's
right.
very devoted to Bhagavatam, that's
And
the
then
only possession she had. She ditched everything else and just carried the Bhagavatam.
One day I was just giving this Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita, and I said, Mom, this is the one, telling the bona fide, it's spiritual, the parampara is coming, this is. She looked deep down in my eyes. She said, what do you mean? I don't know anything. Oh my God, I seen their eyes. I just put my eyes down. I said, no, you're right. Everything is right. I cannot bear see her eyes. Deep down, like glass went in there. I said, oh my God. I just fell down to the ground. I said, no, Mom, I'm sorry. You're right. Absolutely right. I cannot. I don't know where that eyes I never seen in my life. It was like, eyes and that. That's fine. I did not say anything about that. I put that a little, the Prabhupada Hare Krishna, you put in the electricity that they keep Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I put that so she can just hear a little bit about that. But that I'm talking about 3 years ago when I went there. She was reading some Bhagavatam. And then I was thinking to read Bhagavad Gita from ISKCON. And then she just looked at me, and then I'm just shattered. I mean, I was just telling, what the bogus you're reading. You read this one, the Prabhupada one. But I was wrong. I don't know what she was reading, but the way she looked at me, it's like I've got no strength left in my body. All the power gone. I don't know what she was reading anyway.
Yeah.
So that's as I say, my nan doesn't even go to school and she speaks Sloka. I don't know how. Something is like unexplainable.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's carrying the bhakti.
Life.
The bhakti
Previous life.
doesn't come in 2 seconds. It's also carrying on from previous life. Nihavi Kramani Shosti Pradyavayo Navadite. So it's building up life after life. So someone that starts off their life and they're already automatically Krishna conscious means it's carrying on.
Now my niece, she's a devotee of that Jayapataka Maharaj, my brother's daughter. She lives in Malaysia, and then she got twins. And the twins, she is giving the Abhishek twins now become 3-year-old. And she's doing everything for that. The twins, taken to Jayapataka Maharaj and taking to every February, she's going to Mayapur. And then, even she's doing the Ekadashi and the twins doing the Ekadashi too. We said, no, Ekadashi today. And then they do the Mahamantra and they're doing a Narasimha prayer, dance same way. And I was just shocked. I went there just last month. I was seeing that. She said, yeah, we do Abhishek and everything there, and twins keep doing that. So twins born in my niece's family, there was a devotion service for the past life. That's why she's born in the devotee family.
Interestingly, there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita in the 6th chapter, we can look at it, which is saying that Krishna expresses a doubt in the 6th chapter, that towards the end of the 6th chapter, that what if I don't make it in Krishna consciousness in this life? What if I don't complete it? Am I going to be like a riven cloud? So he says that in text 38, 638.
Yeah.
And 637.
37.
You say
Yeah.
637,
Yeah.
just the translation.
Yeah. Arjuna said, "O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with the path, but later desisted due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism." And then
So
he
this is the
says,
doubt. You know,
yeah,
what
doubt.
happens if we try
Yeah.
to be
If,
successful spiritually, but we don't make it?
mm.
Okay, and then he continues 38.
Almighty Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence falls away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere?
Yeah, next.
This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely, but for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt.
Okay, next one, 40.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead says, "Son of Partha, a transcendentalist engaged in the spacious activity does not meet with the destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil."
Okay, next.
The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planet of the pious living entity, is born into family of righteous people or into family of the rich aristocracy.
Yep, one more.
Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in the family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world.
So Prabhupada mentions in regards to this verse, I had this kind of birth. He had his father was a devotee of Krishna.
Yeah.
And he mentions right from a very young age, he would hear his father ringing the bell for the arati. He would see his father doing arati and everything like that. He did a little Rath Yatra when he was a little child. He asked his father, "Can you get me my own Rath? I want my own Rath."
But you didn't born with that religious family. You didn't born with the Krishna conscious family.
Correct.
Then how come?
But it mentions in 41.
Yeah.
Suchinam. Suchinam means like brahmanas, right? But Srimatam means prosperous.
Yeah.
Srimatam means rich or prosperous. Yeah. So I was born, because it's mentioned here, rich
in aristocracy.
Yeah. Not really aristocracy, but in my case, but rich, yeah. So it means you don't have to worry about money. You know, I never had to worry about money. So that means you got an opportunity to do other things, like think about self-realization and stuff like that. You know, if you're born in a poor family, then life's a struggle. You're not able to.
Food and shelter your entire life. Look out, like a lot of Indians, like I guess 50, 60, 70%, they're just busy in daily life for the food and shelter. Entire their life gone just for food and shelter. Look at the rickshaw driver. 12 hours he works to just get the food and shelter if you're lucky, unless he sleep on the street or under the bridge. So all his entire life for food and shelter. So that's right. So aristocracy family, but then again, if there is a royal family in the London, they born the aristocracy family, but they're not Krishna conscious.
Yeah, but it's not automatic. I mean, opportunity is given because of your past good karma. You're given an opportunity, but whether you use the opportunity or not, that's your free choice.
Yeah. Yes.
So nothing's automatic. You know, you're given some opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, anyone born in India has been given an opportunity. You got temples there, sadhus there, shastras there, prasadam is there, everything's there. But you see, many people don't take it. Many people don't take the opportunity. Yeah. It's a wonderful opportunity. but many people don't
born
take
in
it.
India alone, it's mad, it's jackpot. And
Yeah,
all the
but a
sadhus
lot of people
there
don't take it, you know.
can't take it.
So
70-80%
yeah,
done.
it's not automatic. You're
Yeah.
given an opportunity that you don't have to worry about your economic needs.
Yes.
So you can focus on higher things, spiritual things, but yeah, it's not
Yes.
automatic. Or you're
Yes.
given, you know, good association right in the beginning of life. You've got good association from devotees, but
Yeah.
you know, you don't take it, you know,
Mm.
like that. So,
That's another
but
thing.
you know, spiritual life is completely transcendental. It's not depending on any material situation. We see Prahlad, you know, he was born into a family of demons,
Yeah.
and you know, he had bad association, but you know, he became Krishna conscious, you know. And sometimes, you know, a person born in a family of devotees and they don't become Krishna conscious.
Mm.
However, you know, Prahlad did have contact with a devotee. That is the thing. Everyone at some point needs that.
Mm.
You know, so Prahlad had, when he was in the womb of his mother,
Yeah.
in Narada Muni's ashram, Narada was preaching to his mother, and he
was
heard,
listening.
he was listening to Narada's instructions to his mother inside the womb, and that awakened Krishna consciousness in him. You know, so association with devotees is very essential to awakening Krishna
I
consciousness.
must be listening as well when my mom's tummy, when I was
Sure.
little, like, you know, she must be
Yeah.
running to that. And then when I was little, she used to take me to the Vrindavan and then carrying me and then put my head under the sari because I get the cone and then monkey just snatched my cone. And I put the head under the sari to eating the cone. I remember that. And that was the time there. So I must be listening when I was in my mom's tummy. That could be the one. But I slept 50 years and just wake up 8 years ago.
Jeev Jago. Yes,
Whenever
wake
you
up,
wake,
sleeping
it's
soul.
okay because 50 years gone. I don't need to, you know, regret about that. It's gone. You know,
But it's
No,
okay.
everything happens at the right time. Everything happens at the right time. Yeah.
timing
Yeah,
is about
that's what I was going to say, that we all needed to go through what
yes.
our experiences and yeah.
Because the
That's
prerequisite to take to Krishna consciousness is you have to be materially exhausted and frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, if you're still in the enjoyment mode, it's not gonna happen.
yeah.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll, eat, drink, and be merry. You know, it's not going to work. You know, you have to be a bit frustrated materially and exhausted materially.
Or maybe,
and then it comes very easily. And that's why, you know, see the first devotees when in ISKCON, when Prabhupada started ISKCON, what kind of class of people were they? Hippies.
yes.
Frustrated people.
Yes.
Materially exhausted, frustrated group of people.
Prabhupada says it's a lot easier because they already left home anyway.
They're already detached from everything. They're
already on the street. They can join
their
us.
parents were all rich. Their parents were all rich, but they're disgusted with it. They could see that although their parents had money and possessions and everything, they weren't happy.
They're born in the
They're always
aristocracy
stressed and anxiety, and they, why do I want? I don't want to follow that. I don't want to follow in the footsteps of that.
They were already looking for something.
Looking for something. They didn't know what it was, but they were looking. You know,
there was a I don't know which case was like, you know, the father took a check to ISKCON. Please give me my son back. Take as much as donation you like. Fill the amount in this check. But
that was my guru. His father offered $1 million to his son, Giriraj, if he'd leave, but he didn't leave. Offered $1 million check. And that was 50 years ago. So $1 million, that's a lot of money. 50 years
born
ago.
In the aristocracy family, your Guru Maharaj. So he born the aristocracy family.
It's interesting how, you know, like how we were just talking about how all the hippies and that they were looking for something. They didn't know what, but because, I mean, if I reflect on myself, I had come to a point and I actually very distinctly remember, like, you know, just to myself, or, you know, I just kind of like was thinking like, is this all there is to it? Like a question like this, like, you know, a career, a young family, a house, you know, and the rat race. And then like to me it was, I just was, it was a question like, so is this, or is this what it's all about? And then not long
Inquisitive.
after, not long after that, I had that near death car
Right. Wow.
accident.
Mm.
And then it was the unconscious confirmation to me that there was definitely something more than the doctors and whatever. There was, because of all the prayers and everything that was happening everywhere in all different churches, mosques, temples, everything. And it was just a knowing that something bigger was involved in my recovery. When doctors were talking to my parents of that I might be a vegetable, I might whatever, you know, and I won't, because of head injuries and all. And then I started looking, and it's
Miracle.
how we have to look.
Yeah.
If we are asking questions, and we have to look, and then he answers, he comes.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Definitely. I when I was distributing books when I was a young brahmachari, I had gone into one man's office and with a pile of books, and his immediate reaction was, get lost, I don't have time. So I started walking away, and he called out, hang on a minute, just show me what you got. So complete 180 turnaround. I don't know what's going on. And then I showed him, and I said a few things, and he took a science of self-realization. And he gave, just through a couple of coins, not very much, probably didn't even pay for the book. And then and I went away. I didn't think anything more about it. And then the next day we got out again. I got out of the van in the morning. So I jumped out of the van left me with my pile of books. And then I was just at the side of the street getting ready. And then a van pulled up next to me and it wound the window down. And it was that guy from the office the day before. And he said, he just waved me to come over and said, I've been driving up and down the street hoping to find you, because it was a small town. There's only one main street. So he said, I've been driving up and down the street hoping to find you. And I just like to apologize for how I treated you yesterday. He said, look, I read 50 pages of your book last night and it's changed my life.
Wow.
And then he told me about his background. He said, I was earning $50,000 a year. And I've got a wholesale food company. And I had a desire, a plan that I want to make 100 grand a year. I'm earning 50 and I wanted to make 100 grand a year. And he said, I was thinking that if I get 100 grand, I'm going to be completely happy. So he says, so then I worked very hard and I actually achieved my goal. I got $100,000 a year. And then he said, when I actually got 100 grand a year, which was his dream goal, he said, I was more unhappy than when I had 50 grand. He was more unhappy. And then he said, I was driving my delivery van and thinking about this, that I achieved the goal I wanted, that I thought would make me happy, and it's made me more unhappy. And he said he was so confused. He was so confused. What's the point of life, you know? And he said for the first time in his life, he prayed to God. He said, God, if you exist, then please help me. And he said, I came into his office the next day after he prayed, God, if you exist, please help me. So that's what his immediate reaction was, get lost, no time. But that's why he changed his mind, because he remembered, hang on a minute, I better not tell him to go away, because this is like God's man. And I just prayed to God, if you exist, please help me. So that's why he changed his mind like that.
That's again
and he
confirmation. That's again
so
confirmation.
it
Yeah.
just shows, you're in distress, you call out to God, and then God makes an arrangement, like that. You get a book, Meet a Devotee, like that. And he said, I got one of my friends is really having a hard time. Do you have a book that can help him? I said, sure. Here's the Bhagavad Gita. So he gave a really good donation, and to make up for yesterday's donation. And he took a Bhagavad Gita for his friend as well. So, and I think I gave him some other books as well. So yeah, and he walked away happily ever after, so that was a really story with a happy ending. But it just shows, how we go through some distress and then we call out to God, in distress, and then that leads to God like that. So I thought we'll look at 7th chapter, text 16, which explains 4 different kinds of people, how they end up connecting with God.
The best among the Bharatas, the 4 kind of pious men being to render devotional service unto me: distress, the desire of wealth, inquisitive, and who is searching for the knowledge of absolute.
So this is deeper. This is chapter 7, text 16. So someone's engaging in devotional service. How did they get there? There's generally 4 routes, 4 pathways to come to devotional service. But all of these 4 are pious. All these 4 are pious. So 4 kinds of pious people. So what are the 4 pathways? In distress is one. Inquisitive, searching for wealth, and searching for knowledge, like that. And then the previous verse is 4 kinds of impious or sinful. So it doesn't work the same with a sinful person. If it doesn't work the same with a sinful person, the previous verse 7:15, there's 4 kinds of sinful people, and they never surrender. They never come to devotional service. They never surrender. Like if a sinful person is put into distress, then they don't come to God. They go to the pub. Isn't it? They go to the pub. A sinful person when in the distress, they go to the pub. But a pious person, when put in distress, then calls out to God like that. So you have to be a bit, some piety is there. Piety means we've done some activities that have cleaned our heart. If we've done some activities that have cleaned our heart to some degree, if our heart's a little bit clean, then if a little bit clean your heart, then if you put in distress, or if you're searching for wealth, inquisitive, like that, searching for knowledge, then you'll take to devotional service like that. But if your heart's very dirty, then it's not possible to surrender. And then it's mentioned 4 kind of sinful people and pious people. Those that are foolish, they're mudha. And Prabhupada mentioned that actually in today's verse. Prabhupada mentioned that in the chapter 10, text 8 that we're doing today. In the purport, he mentioned at least 2 or 3 times the word fool. Yep, fool, and then fool. Yeah, he's mentioned. Oh, and again, fool. So he mentioned it 3 times at the end of the purport to today's verse. Fool. So fool means in Sanskrit mudha. So that's the first category of sinful person that doesn't surrender, the fool. And then Naradhama. Naradhama means the lowest of mankind. Fool in Sanskrit's mudha. So the mudha, naradhama, and those knowledges stolen by illusion, that's maya pahirta jnana. So the knowledge, the gyan, is stolen by maya, by illusion. And then there's the atheistic nature of demons. So that's the asura. So the asuras. So all these different categories, the fools, lowest of man, knowledge is stolen by illusion, and demons, they don't surrender, even if they were put in distress or whatever, like that, wanting wealth, inquisitive, then they don't take like that. So yeah, many fools. So in today's verse, as mentioned, Prabhupada mentions, so stay away from the fools, basically. Stay away. Here, what we should do if we want to progress in Krishna consciousness, we should hear from the perfect authority. That means someone coming in parampara, and basically ignore the fools, stay away from the fools, don't listen to the fools, like that. So if you're listening to the fools, that's the path, and associating with the fools, that's the path to hell. That's the downward path. And if you listen to the devotees, that's the path upwards. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, King Rishabdev, Lord Rishabdev says, Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimuktes. That Mahat Seva means serving the Mahatmas, the great souls. That's the Dwaram, the door or gateway, the gateway to Vimukti, Mukti. So to upwards, to going upwards to liberation. Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahur Vimuktes. Tamo Dwaram Yosida Sangi Sangam. And Tamo, darkness, means hellish, to hellish life, the gateway. Tamo Dwaram, the gateway to Tama, darkness going down, is Yosida Sangi Sangam, to associating with materialistic people, associating with materialistic, demoniac kind of people, like that. So two different doorways. So then it's our free choice, whether you're going to associate with the Mahatmas, or another word is Duratma. So let's look at the Mahatmas. Who's a Mahatma? How do we find
I'm talking
Mahatma?
one of them anyway.
So what?
I'm listening to one of them anyway.
No, not at all.
You are a Mahatma. Mahatma means Mahan Atma. Great soul is called Mahatma. You're a great soul.
Look at, we're just trying to follow Prabhupada. He's the Mahatma.
Yes, definitely he's a Mahatma.
So that's mentioned in 9th chapter, which we've just finished. Text 13 and 14. 9th chapter, 13 and 14.
Okay. O son of Bharata, those who are not deluded, the great soul, are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and
Inexhaustible.
Inexhaustible.
Inexhaustible. Okay, next one. Always chanting.
Yeah, let's just stop with that. Oh no, you might as well read it and then I'll talk. Yeah.
Always chanting my glory, endeavoring with a great determination, going down before me, these great souls actually worship me with devotion.
So one point about the Mahatmas, they're protected. They're fully protected. Like I said, we don't have to worry about what happens when we die. I mean, you're fully protected by the divine nature. You're fully protected by Krishna and Radharani. She's the supreme spiritual energy, Radha. So you're fully protected by Radha and Krishna. You don't have to worry. And their characteristic, the prime characteristic of a Mahatma, they're fully engaged in bhakti and devotional service. So they're either chanting, or they're hearing, or they're remembering, or they're worshipping, or they're praying, they're rendering menial service, like that. The 9 processes, they're doing some of those, like Arjuna was Krishna's friend, so he was always engaged in that friendly relationship with Krishna. Sakyam, that's one of the 9 processes to make God one's friend, like that. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was hearing from Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami was chanting. He was always glorifying the Lord. So Prahlad Maharaj, he was always remembering. So there's different examples of devotees that perfectly did one of these 9 processes. So like that. Hanuman, he's famous for dasyam, rendering menial service. Lakshmi, she's famous for padasevanam, serving the feet of the Lord. Serving the feet of the Lord, like that. Bali Maharaj is famous for Atma Nivedanam, means surrendering everything. Bali Maharaj surrendered everything to Vamanadev and the Vamanadev Leela, like that. So always engaged in devotional service. And why are they always engaged? And that comes back to today's verse, 10:8. Is if we know fully, if we fully know, like they say, because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original, exhaustible. So that's what it says, or similar in 10:8. You know, the person that knows that Krishna is saying in that verse, I am the source of the spiritual material worlds. Everything emanates from me in 10:8. So the wise who perfectly know this constantly engage in my service and worship me with all their hearts. So this is so important, to have the knowledge of Krishna, that he's the source of everything. Everything comes from him. Or like today's, he's the original. So he's the first person. This is another definition of God. God is the first person. He's the origin of everything else. The origin, everything comes from him. God is that person from which everything comes. He's the original, very first. And people ask, well, where does God come from? But God doesn't come from anywhere. Everything comes from God, but he doesn't come from anything. That is the definition of God. As Lord Brahma said in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Savakarana Karanam Anadi. Anadi means no origin, no beginning. Adi means he is the beginning. Anadi, Adi. So he has no beginning, but he is the beginning of everything else, like that. So that's God. And inexhaustible. So what does that mean? Inexhaustible. So ordinarily a material thing, if it's divided or expanded, it's going to reduce, right? And eventually, like if you have a pizza and you cut it into 8 pieces, and if you distribute those 8 pieces, does the pizza exist? Once you cut it up, the 8 pieces, does the original pizza exist? Whole pizza? No, it's gone, right? Your cake, you have a nice cake, your cheesecake, and you cut it up into 8 pieces. Once you've divided those 8 pieces, is the original cheesecake still there, intact?
No,
it's gone.
no.
So materially, things get exhausted. But Krishna is divided so many into all of us, into all the planets, all the universes, into all the elements, earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intelligence, ego, all the souls, everything, into the material universes, spiritual universes, into all the Vishnu expansions, on all the Shakti expansions and everything. And does that mean Krishna is all exhausted or disappeared? No, it doesn't, because Krishna is transcendentally spiritual. So, and that's why we go back to this Ishopanishad, beginning one. Om Purnamada Purnaminam Purnat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnam. What that's saying is that Krishna is complete. And even though you take away complete units from the complete whole still remains complete. So this is the spiritual science. Even though you take complete units away from the complete, we are complete units. Even though you take complete units away from the complete whole, which is Krishna, Krishna is a complete whole. We are all individual complete units coming from the complete whole. And yet, even though Krishna's expanded himself 1, 2, 10, 100 million, trillion, whatever number away, divided himself, but he still remains as he is, the complete whole. So it's not like a material. So that's why it's mentioned inexhaustible, avyayam. So it's never going to become like that pizza or cake that's chopped up into bits and disappear. He's never exhausted. And the best example in the material world, what's the best example we have of something that's expanding unlimitedly? Its energies are just coming out, but never gets any less. Never gets any less, even though it keeps pumping out energy, but never gets less. What, and inside the material world, what example? Never getting exhausted. I'll give you a clue. It's in the sky.
The sun.
Yeah. For millions and millions of years, it's been pumping out just unlimited amounts of energy, heat and light, right? Sunlight. And it's never getting weaker, isn't it? It's never getting weaker. In fact, it seems to be getting hotter. Actually, the end of the universe, actually, it's said, I can't remember exactly, I think the sun gets 12 times hotter when the universe is about to pralaya, means destroyed. Just before the pralaya, the sun cranks it up, and then everyone gets toasted. I think for 100 years it gets toasted, and then there's 100 years of everyone gets drowned. So if you don't get killed by getting drowned, you're going to get toasted. So we want to get back to Godhead before that happens. But yeah, so it doesn't get any less. It doesn't get any less. So even if the material sun can do that, not get exhausted, what to speak of Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead. So that this is what we need. We need this knowledge that Krishna is the original inexhaustible. He's the source of everything. Everything emanates from him. Then the consequence of that knowledge is that we'll surrender and then engage in devotional service. And at that point, then it follows into the next verse, text 14. What is so fully engaged in devotional service? So what does that look like in more detail? So the more detail is given in text 14. Always chanting. So what does it mean? They are fully engaged in devotional service. So what does that look like? So they're always going to be chanting. If you look at any picture of Prabhupada, in every picture, what's one thing you're going to see?
Chanting beads.
He's got his beads in his hand. He's chanting. He's talking with the scientists. He's talking with disciples. He's on his morning walk. Any time, he's always chanting. Always chanting. And then endeavoring with great determination. So does it mean in spiritual life that, you don't do anything? Because a lot of people have that idea. Now I'm a materialistic person. I'm always working hard. I'm so busy, but I want to become a spiritual person because I'm just going to do nothing. People have that idea, opposite, right? The material is one thing, extreme, and they think the spiritual is the other extreme. So they think the materialistic is super active, and a spiritual person is super inactive, like that. We have that picture, right? Just this guy's sitting down in the Himalayas doing nothing, sitting down, meditating, doing nothing. But no, here we have a different picture of a spiritual person. Their endeavoring means active and also with great determination. But why? The main point is why? To serve Krishna, So Hanuman was endeavoring with great determination to find Sita, right? He was jumping and flying, and that's the hard work. You try doing a big jump. You try jumping off the bottom tip of India, across the ocean. That's not easy, It was a great determination. One monkey said, I can jump 8 yojanas. Oh, sorry, mate, it's not enough. Another one said, I can jump 80 yojanas. Oh, it's not enough. 800 yojanas, not enough. One said, I can jump there to Lanka, but I can't jump back. I won't have enough energy to jump back. Hanuman was the only one that had enough power to jump there and jump back. So that's a lot of determination and a big endeavor. But why? Was it to please himself? No, was it to please his mum and dad? Was it, it was to please a demigod? No, it was to please Krishna. So they're endeavoring with great determination. Endeavor means activity, and determination means, you really focus your mind. You really focus your mind. And you're going to complete your mission. Endeavoring, one time ago, a wonderful devotee, he's passed away now, Mahavishnu Goswami, he said determination means to have the mentality of finishing it. Finishing it. You start something. It's easy. Everyone can start something, but can you finish it? You start a project, you start something, a plan, and carrying it through. Carrying through your initial action and finishing the job like that. So that takes determination to finish it. That was a very good way he summed it up. Determination means to finish it like that. So great determination. And one great example comes to mind with Prabhupada of his endeavor with great determination is the Juhu Temple. Juhu Temple. That was a big endeavor. Man, that was a big endeavor. There was so many obstacles to get that temple in Mumbai, Bombay. The guy, tried to cheat. Talking about cheating, the guy that owned the property was a big cheater, Mr. Nair. That he was infamously called Mr. N. Mr. N. You can read in the Prabhupada Litamrita, Mr. N. So he tried to cheat the devotees, and Prabhupada struggled so much. Actually, they've recorded, Prabhupada was spreading ISKCON for 12 years. Where did he spend the most time during the 12 years? It was in Mumbai and Juhu. Because he was there struggling hard, to get that temple. And Prabhupada explained why. Why did he put so much effort into getting that temple? Because he said, I promised Radha Rasa Bihari that I will get you this land to make a beautiful temple for you. So he said, because I promised Krishna that I would get this land for them, I had to do it. So he finished it like that. So yeah, and then bowing down before me. That's what a devotee does. Is always bowing down, very humbly bowing down, surrendering to the Lord. And this is the life of a devotee, always engaged in these things, always chanting, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down to Krishna. Nityayukta Upasate, always doing these things. So this is, we want to find these people, we want to associate with them and avoid the foolish people. They, they'll never chant and so forth like that, never bow down. Boy George wrote one song, Bow Down Mister, because he saw people going into, he had the habit, he was a, famous musician, but he had the habit of wherever he would travel to do his concerts, he would find a ISKCON temple and he would go there to the ISKCON temple.
Boy George did that.
Yep. He wasn't, a fully practicing devotee, but he had some attraction to devotees. It's to his credit, attraction to devotees. He's a bit looked like a bit gay or something, or had some funny things. But whatever, you don't have to that's an external kind of fault. But to his credit, he was very attracted to see the deity of Krishna and to associate with devotees. And so he went all around the world in Europe and America and stuff, and he saw that people going to the temple, they'd bow down. So he thought, well, that's just normal, right? You go to a temple and you bow down. So he would have did that too. But he went to India to do a concert, and he went to Vrindavan, to the ISKCON Vrindavan, and he saw all the Indians are going in there and they weren't bowing down. So that's why he wrote the song, Bow Down Mister. Even though you're a big Mr. Beeler or whatever, but mate, before God, you have to put your head down, mate. Doesn't matter how big you are, you have to put your head down, bow down, mister, like that. So that was very nice. So yeah, that's the nature of a devotee, bowing down. And the non-devotees, they don't want to bow down to God. They're very proud. They won't bow down. But Prabhupada explained, at the time of death, everyone bows down. So either you bow down in your life, or at the time of death, mate, you're going to put your head down.
No matter what.
So it's better to put your head down while you're living voluntarily than forcefully. Forcefully, your head will be pushed down at the time of death, like that.
But that's gonna happen anyway, regardless.
Yeah, yeah, but better do it voluntarily, then you'll get the credit, because you're not going to get any credit at the time of death. You know, you're not going to get any credit there. You're going to get the credit when you voluntarily put your head down to God. Otherwise, you know, like I said, God forces everyone to put their head down eventually. But better to get the credit like that. I was very lucky. I had a service when I was a brahmachari for a while. I was sleeping in the temple, and it said that when you're sleeping in front of the deity like that, you're getting the credit of offering your obeisances all night long.
Wow.
So for 6 hours, I got the credit of 6 hours bowing down. So like that, this is what we want to do, you know. Anyway, our time's up. Do you want to say anything?
No, all good.
All good. Nice to see you, Gulshan, again, and everything went well.
How's your mother?
Getting there. It's not a good, but what can you do? It's life. 91. Yeah, just hanging
She's
there.
still in. She's at